Okay. So next week you are going to have your workshop. So it's actually integrated with our CAD and BIM. You submit for your workshop, okay? And I also want you to submit a copy to our subject in the e-learning. Okay, because you are going to use Revit to produce these schematic drawings, even though you haven't started on your technical drawings, your working drawing, but at least I want to see, do you able to produce even architectural presentation drawings? Okay, how is your line weight? How you do the modeling? So I want you to submit the PDF soft copy in the CAD and BIM subject as well next week, week 10. Okay, your submission to your studio is on 21st, right? 21st December. Okay, so I will also create the submission link in the e-learning for you to submit on the same day. So you basically submit the same thing, but for both sides. But for me, I'm more focusing on looking at your drawings, okay, your communication. Okay, I won't create your design, but I will just look at your drawings and the communication. Okay. Any question regarding to our schedule? After week 10, basically we have one more topic, which is the rendering. Okay. And after that, it's all about your project. You need to spend time to do your projects for your studio. Okay, so basically we only left two topics to talk about. One is this drawing editing. Okay, I hope today we can finish up this topic. Then the next class we will talk about this photorealistic rendering. Okay, if no question, then we continue on some tutorial. Of course, most of the tutorial videos is already uploaded in e-learning. I hope you spend time to watch some of them and follow some of the exercise. So over here, as I said, it's more on discussion, but I will just highlight a few points. Okay, I just highlight a few points that regarding to these topics. In the last class before the mid-sem break, we have talked about these views, editing the visibility and graphic. I hope you still remember. And then how we create these view templates. Have you tried it for your studio project? Anyone have tried your view templates? Yes? No response? Not yet. Okay, some say yes, some say not yet. Okay, for those who have tried, do you have any problem? Anything you want to ask? For those who are not yet, I hope after this you can try. Even for your this coming workshop, okay, you are going to print your drawings into PDF, so you can create view templates. Okay, if no question, then we continue on. Dimensioning, also last class we have talked about that. Okay, how we put some dimension and annotation. Okay, how we label some of the specification. Okay, I have given you a working drawing checklist, so you can refer to the checklist in the e-learning, so that you know what information that you should put on each of the drawings, like floor plan, elevation section. Okay, what should you put? As I mentioned in the last class, it's about communication, how you communicate with the contractor. How do you make sure your contractor knows what is your intention of your design? Okay, otherwise they will build something different from your design. So you need to communicate clearly. One of the important aspect is the annotation, or we call specification. Okay, you have to label it properly, like what is the thickness, what is the material, like here 115 mm thick brick wall. Okay, you have to make it clear, is it RC wall, brick wall, or what else? Okay, and what is the finishes? Here is 20 mm thick cement plaster on both sides. Okay, you have to spec it properly. Even like RC column, okay, you can give the size RC column, like here 300 by 300 RC column to engineer's detail. Because all those RC structure, usually they will refer to the engineer's structure drawing as well. Okay, so we respect to engineer's detail. Okay, this is usually how we write the specification. So if you have some question regarding how to write your specification, you can either ask me or ask your studio master during your quiz. Okay, so make sure you write your specification properly. Follow the convention, okay, the correct drawing convention. And now we want to look at this detail section. Okay, you are going to crop some detail to blow up detail. For example, here is a toilet detail. Of course, for your studio project, you can refer to your your roof details, okay, or any spatial design, your shading designs, okay, your facade details. Okay, to do that, it's not difficult because you already have your model. Okay, so any detail that you want to produce is actually very straightforward. You go to View, Create Panel, Section. When you create section, you go to this drop-down menu. You have a detail section, building section, or wall section. Okay, actually, it's the same. It's just that the scale, okay, the default scale, drawing scale is different, and we also want to categorize them. So later on in your project browser, you will have different category. You have section, you have detail views. Okay, like last class we learned about how we create new floor plans. Okay, we have a working drawing floor plan or presentation floor plans. So it's a similar thing. We can create detail section, then just cut. Okay, then we have created the view. Of course, you need to crop the view. Okay, I believe most of the things you already know, how to put the dimension, put the spec. Okay. Today I just want to highlight is that sometimes you have a very long or very tall building like this. Okay, from roof to the foundation. Okay, but you cannot fit into your drawings. What can you do? Okay, in Revit there's a very simple solution, which is this brick. Okay, wheel brick, which is very useful when you create your detail. It can even horizontal or vertical. Okay, but here you just click it and it's break into two, then you can drag it. Okay, but of course later on you should use the detail line to draft the break line. Like you go to annotate. I think this one you should know the drawing convention, right? It's how you draft the line. Setting line. Okay, later on you should draft the brick Okay, the break symbol. Actually, there is some library that you can download. The symbol to put in is much easier actually. Okay, like it's shown in here. Then you also can do this revision cloud. If you have anything you want to cloud, okay, it's over here. Let's say you want to cloud this portion. Okay, so this one I just want to show you is that when you have a detail like this, you can actually have a break line. If after that you want to join it back, you can just move and if you join back. Okay, it's very convenient. And even horizontally also you can break it, drag. Okay, if after that you want to change, then you can just join it back. Okay, any question regarding to this blow up detail? If you want to cut or create a break. No question? Okay, then I want to go to the next one is about the legend. Okay, last class I have talked about this door and window schedule using legend, and I asked anyone have done it before. I think none of you said you have done it before. Okay, so today I want to demo it. It's not I mean it's not categorized as schedule. Okay, in Revit there are two different types of view. One is schedule, and another one is called legend. Okay, so for you to create this type of door and window schedule in Revit is called legend. Okay, so we need to create some legend view in our project. So any new views that you want to create, regardless is a plan, section, elevation, and so on, always go to the view tab. Okay, go to the create panel. Everything are here. Okay, including schedule. Later on we will look at schedule. Okay, now we go to legend. There are two types of legend in Revit. One is the keynote legend, and another one is just legend. Okay, so in this case, you need to know which one that you want to create. We use legend here. Okay, once you click it, you ask you to name it. You can say door schedule or door and window schedule. Okay, the scale, okay, 1 to 50. And just click OK. So we have started a new legend here. If you look at your project browser, it's under the legend category. Okay, it's not schedule, it's legend. Okay, then what can you do is that you go to the annotate detail panel. You have this component. Okay, detail component and repeating component is more for drafting. You can import some 2D detail components into your drafting actually. Okay, but over here we are using legend components. So you click it, and you can choose in the option bar. You notice there are many types of families according to what you have modeled in your project. So you can see that even from cable tray, ceiling, column, all the way to wall and windows, everything are here. Okay, so you need to select the correct components here. For example, I go for the door. Whichever that you have I mean the families that you have loaded into your project will appear here. Okay, remember we talked about loaded family or hosted family at the very beginning of the class. Okay, so all these things are here. Let's say I choose this single flush door. You can see the plan view. Okay, over here you can change to the front view or the back view. Of course, usually we for this type of door and window schedule, we just put front view. Okay, so you can arrange like this, following the templates or the way that how you want to organize them. Okay, of course, usually we label it a D1, D2 accordingly. Over here, so I put a door, front view, and then I put my plan view. It's aligned together. Okay, then I choose another type because there is not much. It's not much that is, I have loaded here. Maybe it's a plan view. The front view is nothing because it's a void actually. So I change another type. Here, of course, you can shift it, you can move it, no problem. Okay, so far can follow. It's very straightforward actually. And after that, what you need to do is just label it like this door 1, okay, this door 2. And if you want to create that table, you need to do a bit manual works because you need to draw the line. Okay, it's just like drafting. Okay, you can just draft the table and so on. So to create something like this. Any question? It's regarding to the legend, using legend to create your door and window schedule. Okay, it's same thing for if you want to create windows. Here you just go to the windows category. Okay, you can have your front view, your floor plan, and so on. Okay, no question? It's good. So can you see that this is how useful BIM or Revit, okay, for you to extract your information, because whatever the components that are available here are based on your model. Okay, whatever you have put in the model, now you can extract all this info and then just put it into proper drawings. Okay, so all this information is already inside your model. Yeah, if using the CAD way, I think you need to spend a lot of time to check, okay, which door type, windows type, and need to draw it one by one. Okay, so in your working drawings, we don't require you to produce full set details. We just want you to produce some of the details, okay, to see your capability to do that. And one of them is this door and window schedule. Okay. No other question, then we go to the next topic. regarding to rooms. Okay. Have you tried creating rooms in Revit? Anyone have done that before? Okay, good. Seems like majority already done it before, so I don't need to go into detail on that. But how about using room separator? Okay, and creating this color room plan. Okay, I just go through quickly. Okay, now I go back to my level 1 floor plan. Okay, to create room is a model, no? Don't think that room is just a 2D annotation. No, room is a 3D model. Okay, it has its area and the volume. So to create the room, you go to Architecture tab, Room panel, and create this room. Okay, in the option bar, it's very important for you to set the upper limit. It's better to set to according to level. Okay, because by default, it will give you like 4,000, but later on, if you adjust your floor height, your room height will not follow. So it's better for you to set the constraint to upper limit and 0 offset. Okay, and it's a new room. Then you can see that when you turn on this automatic, okay, it will detect all the rooms according to the wall boundary. Okay, so let's say I created this room, and I can name it, just rename it like office 1. Okay, so by default, it will follow the boundary of the wall. But sometimes within one room, actually you want to separate into 2 spaces. Of course, when you selected the room, you can look at the properties. You have the area, perimeter, and the volume. Okay, but let's say you want to create a boundary here, even though it is without a wall. So we can use this, we call room separator. Okay, it's in the same panel here, room separator. You can use it, draw a line here. And do you notice now the room is separated? Okay, your room area and volume are different now. Then you can actually create another room over here. Okay, this is useful especially when your design has some open plan. Okay, you have a big open plan area, but you want to divide those spaces within the open plan. You do not need to purposely create a wall or partition. Okay, you just use the room separator. Okay, of course you can compute the volume. Okay, now you can see the volume. If you go to your section, you will notice that actually this is following the height of the level. Okay, it's a 3-dimensional volume. But in some situation where, for example here, this is the toilet. Okay. Let's say this is a male toilet. But actually you want to calculate the area including this intermediate space. So what can you do in this situation is that you can select the wall in the instant properties. you can uncheck the room bounding. Now you notice that, okay, the room actually taken the entire space. So you have the flexibility whether the wall is a room bounding wall or non-room bounding wall. Okay, I hope you can see the difference. So it's quite flexible, not necessarily for following the wall. Okay, even with the wall, you can say that the wall is not room bounding. Okay, or even without a wall, you can just use a room separator to create a boundary. Any question? Okay, so after this, I hope in your model, create the room properly. Okay, create all the rooms properly. Because later on, you can create your room schedule to calculate all your floor area, and also you can key in the occupancy, things like that. Okay, you can key all this info. And even floor finishes. Okay. Okay, the next one I want to show is this colored room plan. This could be useful when you want to just present a very schematic layout. Okay, then you want to color your floor plan according to the spaces. But before that, you must have created some rooms. Then only you can create a color floor plan. Okay, so I just quickly do a few more rooms. Okay, just do a quick one. Of course, you should label all, create rooms for all the spaces. So to create a colored room plan, first thing I encourage you to duplicate your view. Okay, you don't overwrite your original floor plan. You better duplicate. Okay, you can rename it as a level 1 room plan. Okay, you can even create another category, go to edit type. Okay, duplicate. So now you have created this room plans. Okay, you can call it color room plan or any other names. So very simple. It's about annotation. So you go to coloring is about annotation. So you go to annotate tab. You can see this color field. So you click this color field legend. You can place the legend somewhere. Let's put it here. Okay, after you place the legend, it will ask you what type of color you want to follow. Okay, is it following the space, rooms, or HVAC zone? Okay, if you want to go for the aircon mechanical plan, but over here we choose rooms. Okay, and the color scheme follow department or name. We follow the name. Then click OK. So you create the legend, okay, according to the rooms that you have created. It's very simple, right? And you can even edit the color scheme. you just select the legend, go to edit scheme. Okay, if you don't like the color, you can just change here. It's flexible. Okay, if you don't like green, you want pink, you just pick the pink and you change. Okay, so I just undo it. And back to edit. You can give the color following the name or following the floor finishes or occupancy or things like that. Okay, over here, because I haven't put in other info, so I just follow the name. Okay, and then of course you can change the pattern and things like that. You don't want to solid, you can change. Basically, you can use this to hatch your floor plan. Not necessarily just creating this color. You can put in some hatches, okay, to hatch your floor plan. All right. Any question? So you can color your floor plan easily within a few seconds actually. And of course you can, when you change the room, change the design, you don't need to export your floor plan to Photoshop and color it again and again. Okay, anytime you change, all this coloring will just follow your model. Okay, you just need to take some time to set the templates and come up with your hatches, and you can do it quickly. Anything to ask? Okay, good. I think all these are quite straightforward. And I guess some of you have done it before also. So I just continue on. We go to the next topic is about schedule. Okay. So I think today's our class can end very quickly because all of you are already very expert in Revit. Next one, we go to schedule. Again, as I mentioned, our model is information model. So actually all this info is already inside the model. It depends how we extract and put in input and output basically is, okay, we input the info, then we want to extract the info out. But we always say that the accuracy is depends on the input. Okay, if your input is wrong, that means your output is also wrong. So schedule is one of the way for us to extract all this information and tabulate it properly, okay, organize it, and we also can use schedule to input new information into your model. Okay, let's do it. Just demo to you in the view tab. Okay, schedule is also considered as one of the view in Revit. So you can go to this create panel and go to the schedule. And there are different types of schedule. Has anyone tried creating schedule before this? Okay, some say no. It's good. Then you learn something new today. There are different types of schedule. We have like view list, sheet list. Sometimes we create drawing list. Okay? But over here, we go to quantities or schedule. And we also have material takeoff. Material takeoff usually is like the quantity surveyor, the QS. They want to calculate the material quantity and also put in the costing. Actually, material takeoff can be used for cost estimation. Okay, but today we look at this schedule. So when you create a new schedule, there's different types of category. Okay, you can, if you think there are too many things, you can uncheck the other discipline. Just look at the architecture schedule. Okay, right now we want to create a room schedule. Of course, over here I just created a few rooms. But when your whole model is completed with all the rooms, then actually you can tabulate all the rooms in the schedule. Okay, you can select the room and it will automatically call it room schedule and click OK. And over here is asking you, what do you want to put into the room schedule? Okay, you can put the name, put the label so that you know which label. Let's say put the area, floor finish, occupancy. What else? Even ceiling finish. Okay. And of course you can organize it up and down, no issue. Okay. You can put label first so that later on you can categorize according to label. And in fact you can add some formulas. Okay, for example, we always ask you to tabulate your schedule of accommodation, right? We will ask you the floor area and how many occupants. You can either key in manually or you can use a formula. And let's say I create formula. Maybe I do this later on. Okay, I do this step by step. I can calculate based on the floor area. Okay, I just finish it first. Now you have this room schedule. Because I only created in level 1, so that's why all are level 1. Let's say I purposely go to create a level 2. So I created a meeting room and conference room. Okay, now I go back to my room schedule. You notice that I created new rooms. I can change the name here, enter, and when I go back to my model, you can see that. Okay, so the schedule and the model are actually linked. Whatever you input here, it will appear in the model as well. For example, right now there is no floor finishes. Now I key in floor finishes in the schedule. I call it carpet. Carpet. This one tiles. Okay, all the office are carpet. Corridor, I put tiles. Okay, now I go back to my model. Select the room. You see that the floor finish is carpet. Okay, before this was empty. That means it's two ways, you know. You can key in your info in the schedule or in the model. Okay, sometimes it's easier for you to key in all this all together in the schedule so you can see it properly. Let's say ceiling finish. Now I key in the model. I call this as a, let's say plaster ceiling. Okay, now I go back to my schedule. You notice that it's already here. And I can even like categorize or sorting them. Okay, I can sort out according to label. Let's say, maybe I repeat again. In the instant properties here, okay, you can see that there's fields, filter, sorting, formatting, appearance, and so on. You can click either one of them, you open the same windows. It's just that at different tabs. Okay, if you want to add field, you can come back here. Add, let's say I add comments. Now it's having one more column. Now I try to sort it out. Okay, I can sort it out according to labels, let's say. Okay, I create a header and footer. And the footer, I want to put totals. I want to put a grand total as well. Okay, can you see that now I categorize them into according to the level. So very easily you can see that all your floor, all the rooms in different floors. Okay, even area, you go to your formatting, you can calculate totals. Now I can straight away tell you that, okay, my level 1 total area is 657 meters square. Okay, level 2 is 247, the total area is 904. Okay, of course this is still incomplete because I haven't created all the rooms. So when you adjust your model, all this data will be adjusted automatically. Okay, so you have no reason to say that you cannot produce your schedule of accommodation or your space tabulation, because it's very easy. If you do it properly, all the rooms are created. You can just create this room schedule within a few clicks, right? Any questions so far? Can follow? So I hope in the studio project you can, even in this coming workshop, okay, you can show some of the spaces, floor area, okay, this kind of a room schedule, even at the very schematic design stage. Okay, next, come back to what I mentioned just now. In this schedule, you can key in some simple formula. Okay, I would say only simple formula. There's some limitation here. Okay, if too complicated, I will advise you to export to Excel to add in your formulas. But over here in Revit schedule, you go back to fields, you can create some simple formula by add calculated parameters. Okay, of course you can create a new parameters and combine parameters. There are different ways. Now I want to show is using formula. Let's say I want to calculate the number of occupants. Okay. The type is number. Then the formula is, you can click on this based on floor area. I divide. Okay, let's say I taking office space as an example. Okay, what is the floor area per person? Usually it's 5 to 10 meters square. Okay, let's say I put it 10 meters square per person. Okay, it will automatically calculate the number of occupants for you. Okay, of course, you don't want this decimal point. Okay, you cannot tell me 1.08%. how to get 0.08%. So you come back to formatting, number of occupants here, field format. uncheck the use default. Okay, no decimal point. So I shown you some of these simple calculation that you can do in Revit schedule by putting some of these, even especially when you go to door and window schedule, you can calculate the area percentage, even for the ventilation. Okay, if you know that actually in our BP submission, we need to calculate the percentage of this opening. Okay, 10% for lighting, 5% for ventilation minimum according to UBBL. So all these things you can just key in into your Revit schedule and calculate it automatically. Any question? Of course, another thing is about appearance. Appearance is more on like your graphical setting. Okay, you can change your font size. Okay, you can change your line type. All this will affect later on when you put into your drawing sheets. Okay. Let's do another schedule. This time we go for let's say we go for door schedule. Okay, let's create door schedule. So again, you can key in what info to show here. You put in the label, family and type, frame material, what else? Okay, you can put in the mark. You can put in some dimension, the height, and the width. Finishes. Okay, can you see that? It's all created. And again, you can group them according to the label and then group them according to the family and type. Yeah. And you can key in all these finishes. Okay, as what I have shown just now. Okay, any question regarding to this schedule? Okay, is per person space are fixed to 10 square meter in the correct? Not necessarily 10, it depends on the function of your space. Okay, you can refer to the metric handbook or the Newford architect's data. Usually we give you some standard to calculate the occupancy. Okay, just now I just do a quick one, that's why I put 10 for all the spaces. But usually different spaces, you have different occupancy load. Okay, and another thing you can refer is even in the UBBL, there is an occupancy load, but that one is more for firefighting. You can refer to the 7 schedule. Any other question regarding to the schedule? So now you can see that actually you can create different type of schedule very quickly. Okay, if you model everything properly, then all the info that you extracted should be correct. And you can use schedule to organize your model as well, to add in new information. Like over here now, the frame materials are missing. Okay, you can say it's a timber frame. Okay, or this one is a metal frame. Okay, what is the finishes? Okay, is it a paint finish or laminated or things like that? Okay, you can just key in and then you go back to your model, you realize that all the information is added into your model. Okay, for example, if you want to find out where is this door in the model, you just select that row and click highlight in model. Okay, it will show to you. This is the door one. It's the same thing if you want to look for, okay, where is Office 5? Highlight in the model. They will show to you. This is the space. Okay, so imagine if your model is very complicated, it's a very complex building. You want to find out where is door 1, where is W1, where is door 2. It will take you some time. But in Revit, actually you can go to the schedule. Okay, just select that one. Let's say door 2E, where is door 2E? Just highlight in the model. Okay, and this is door 2E. Yeah. Okay. If no other question, then come to the last part of today's tutorial. Of course, the more detailed tutorial you can refer to the video. The last thing that I want to talk today is about creating the drawing sheets, okay, which is useful when you want to do printing. So go to your project browser, and there's this category, sheets. You just right click here, and create a new sheets. And over here you can load. Okay, you can load your title blocks. A2, A1, AO. This is by default in Revit. And all these title block are the families. Okay, so you can modify or create your own title blocks. By right, you should create your own. Okay, you don't use the default Revit one. You have the Autodesk logo. Okay, you should put your own logo. Okay, but over here I just use the default one, the A1 metric. Okay, I click OK. So this is the A1 paper size. Okay, and these are all the title block. Remember last class I talked about the info that you should put in your title block. Okay, if you want to edit you can either open the family or you can just edit family here, and then you open the title block family file, and then you can edit it. All these are text and lines, okay? And some of them are labels. You can modify it. Okay, you can modify what are the info that you want to put here. Now I just use the default one. Okay, you can modify it by yourself. Customize your own title block. Create your own logo, put a very nice logo here. Okay. But the important thing is that make sure you follow the proper drawing convention. Okay, I have shown you the example last class. What are the info that you should put in there? Okay, once you have customized your title block, then it's very easy for you to put in the drawings into the drawing sheets. Let's say I just want to put in my level 1 floor plan here. Let's say I go to take the presentation plan. Just drag. Okay, it's basically just drag and drop. And the scale is always following your view. You don't need to worry about your drawing scale. Okay, it will be always correct. What you see is what you plot. That's what I always say. Of course, sometimes you can't fit in, then you can edit a bit, like crop the view. Or just, yeah. Okay, you can crop your view so that it can fit into your paper size. So of course, for ground floor, by right, you should show the entire context, okay, entire site and the immediate context. Okay, I just want to demo to you that actually it's quite flexible. You can edit the view, the crop, and also you can edit this the label of your drawings. Okay, in your model, because you need to purposely differentiate the name of the views. But when you put into your drawing sheets, you can actually rename them. Okay, no problem. You just rename it. Or you can choose, okay, edit type. Whether show title, whether you want to show the line. Okay, all this you can edit here. Okay, it's flexible that you can edit. And you can even change the name here. So can you see that now? Instead of showing the view names, you create the title on sheets. Do you get it? What I'm demo to you is that it's not necessary must follow the view name. Okay, you can select it and override the view name to follow the title on sheets. But last class I have demoed to you, sometimes you want to duplicate many views for different view templates. But the limitation in Revit is that you cannot have the same view with the same view name. Okay, you cannot duplicate another level 1 and call it level 1. You will create confusion. That's why Revit will always ask you to rename it another name. But when you put into your drawing sheets, of course you don't want like level 1 WD, something like that. Okay, but don't worry about that. You can just override it. Okay, come to here, just override the title on sheets. Okay. So of course you can put your name here is right, ground floor plan. Okay, you can change the project name and so on. Let's create another one. This time we put a section. Okay, it's automatically following the scale. Here again, you can rename it. Instead of section 1, you can call it section AA. Okay, so in your drawing it's called section AA, but in the project browser it is still section 1. Okay, you can also organize a few drawings into one drawing sheets. Okay, any question? Anything to ask? Okay. It's quite straightforward. Of course, the last thing is to print it. It's also very easy. Let's say this is your drawing that you have organized into your A1 title block. You just go to File and then Print. Okay, you can print or print preview. Okay, you can do your printer setting. Let's say I go to PDF file. Okay, you can print the print the current windows or selected view and so on. You can also, when you print PDF, you can choose to combine multiple selected view into one single file. Okay, and you can also create some of the setting. Okay, you can edit some of this setting into the paper size. The paper size should be A1. In this case, it's landscape. Okay, you have vector processing or raster processing. Raster is when you have a rendered view. Okay, it's a shaded view, then you need to go for raster processing. But for lines drawing, you can go for vector processing. Okay, it's better to choose zoom 100%. Okay, to fit to page. Zoom 100% so that whatever you see is what you plot. Okay, it's following the correct scale. And there are some options here where you can hide some of these reference plane. Okay, hide the crop boundaries, things like that. Okay, of course you can preview. Is what you are going to print. Okay, you have option to choose current view. Another option is to choose selected view or sheets. Okay, if you go for these options, selected views or sheets, you can click select, and then you can select a few views or a few drawing sheets to print together. Okay, in this case, I've created three A1. So I choose this 3A1, and then I can save as, okay, so that I have a set, I call it a set A1, let's say basic drawing, something like that. Okay, when you have many views, so you can create a few sets, so that next time when you come back, you can just choose. Okay, I forgot to save. Okay, you can just come back and choose. Let's say you have A1 drawings, A0 drawings, A3 drawings, so you can create different sets. So you do not need to select it one by one again next time. Okay, you can always come back here to select. Maybe you have one set for working drawings, another set for your architectural drawing, another set for detailed drawings, and so on. Okay, so you can choose it, especially if you have different paper sizes. Okay, so you can create different set here. Okay, and when you have multiple views or sheet in selected, it's better you can combine into a single file. Then just print it. So while waiting, any question? Maybe something wrong with my PDF printer. It's a bit slow. But there are a few PDF printer you can download from internet. Okay, there are different types of PDF printer. PDF Architect? No, I never used it before. But there are many types of PDF printer. Okay, you can Google some that recommend for Revit. Okay, some PDF printer recommended for Revit is faster. This Adobe PDF, I think my printer has some problems. It's hang here. Okay. You can go to some forum, they advise, they recommend a few PDF printer for Revit, which they say is faster. Okay, come back to the slide. Actually, there's one more thing to talk about is this material takeoff. Of course, this material takeoff is not so relevant to your project. Okay, it is more on cost estimation. As I said, usually QS, you use this method to estimate the costing. Okay, actually similar like this schedule, but it will extract the info based on the material. Okay, you go to the View tab, create schedule, material takeoff. Let's say I choose wall. Okay, I just do a quick demo here because it's not so related to your project actually. But I just want to let you know that there's this function here. Okay, you can choose the name, area, and then calculate the number of bricks and then put in the costing. Okay, you can see that in the material takeoff, you quantify the material one by one. Okay, including the bricks, plastering, masonry brick, brown. Okay, over here then we need to filter them. Usually we need to filter one by one. Okay, so that let's say now I want to quantify the bricks only. Okay, it will only show you the bricks. Okay, do you want to itemize them one by one, or you do need to itemize? Then I need to calculate the total. Okay, it will show you the total. Okay, or if you want to itemize them, you itemize wall by wall. Okay, and after that is the same thing. You add in some formulas. Let's say over here I put the divide by 0.045 in order to calculate the number of bricks. Okay, this is following the size of the bricks. Okay, the area of one number of bricks. Okay, it will show to you each wall you need how many number of bricks. Let's say we multiply the number of bricks with certain costs. Then we get the costing. Okay, then we get the total cost just for the bricks, 44,893. Okay, so this is just an example that how we can use material takeoff to quantify each of these material. We need to filter them one by one, and then we can add in some of the formulas in order to calculate the cost estimation. Okay. So I guess that's all for today's tutorial. Lastly, I just want to brief again on this assignment 2C. The assignment 2B is your working drawing. Then the last assignment, which is assignment 2C, is visualization. Okay, we will learn about this rendering in the next class. But I just want to tell you the requirements. The percentage is 25%. Okay, we use your studio project to create some of this for the real estate rendering. And the submission requirement is minimum 3 exterior perspective. Okay, 2-day view, 1-night view. Okay, this is the minimum. Of course, no one stopped you to produce more. But I will assess based on the minimum is 3 exterior perspective and minimum 2 interior perspective. Okay, with furnitures. These are some of the example. Don't just show interior perspective just empty. Okay, you have learned how to put in some components, so you can just download some of these furniture components from website like Revit City. Okay, easily you can put in some of these things and do the rendering, and then you submit into the JPEG or BMP. Usually JPEG file should be okay. Then it's 300 dpi resolution, and name it accordingly and put into a folder. Okay, this will be submitted in your final submission. That means after your studio submission. Okay. Anything to ask? All right, good. Next week, 20th, again, I have the thesis script. And as I say, I know you are going to have your workshop on 21st. Okay, so next Sunday, we won't have class. Okay, you take the time to do your studio project for the workshop. Because your workshop submission is also part of the CAD and BIM first submission. Okay, so 20th, next Sunday, we don't have class. You focus on your studio workshop. And I will create a link for you to submit your studio workshop, the file also in this CAD and BIM. Okay, that's what I mentioned at the early of this class. So the next class will be on 27. Okay, so our next online class will be on 27 December. According to our schedule, we only left one more topic, okay, which is the 3D rendering. So I think we can finish up the last topic on 27 December. Okay, so 20th December, you focus on your studio workshop. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so you have more time to prepare for your studio workshop. And in week 11, we just finish up the last topic. And then after that, starting from week 12 to week 15, actually I don't want to disturb you anymore. You just focus doing your work using a Revit for a studio project. But of course, if you have question you want to ask me, I'm always available. Okay, you can just text me. In the WhatsApp group also you can ask. Because after that it's more on your hands-on work already. Alright. So if no other question, then see you again in our last class on 27 December. Okay, our next class, okay, 27 December. Alright, thank you.
じゃあ今日はその狐さんに会いにここへ。
いえ、鬼丸は帰らぬ拙者に愛想を尽かしたことでしょう。もう13年も前の話。